We actually know a lot about the Michael DLC, lots of hints, lots of references inside of GTA Online, even comments from Michael Ned Luke himself. Now after the GTA 5 story mode, Michael retires, Franklin and Michael Trevor split ways, Michael lives the retirement life, millionaire status, but still working for the movie studio because it's his biggest passion. And really, we don't know too much else that happens after 2013 until we get to December 2021 when Franklin returns in the Contract DLC, where we get our first Easter egg about Michael. So this is everything we know about the Michael DLC, a little mini timeline type video about all the info we have so far. Because we do have a lot, even if it was cancelled for some reason, we still know a lot about it. So in the Contract DLC, driving with Franklin, you get to a point where you drive through the movie studio, Vinewood, and Franklin has a special dialogue you can hear. He says, "Man, I know one of the producers around here, I hope his ass ain't working today." That is of course in reference to Michael because he works at Richard's Majestic Studio in the movie studio compartment over here.
And shit, I know one of the producers around here. I hope his ass ain't at work today.
So this is an obvious hit at Michael because Michael is, of course, a movie producer at the end of the GTA 5 storyline. And just in case you guys were wondering, GTA Online does take place after story mode ever since about after the Doomsday Heist DLC. But modern day GTA Online, we are after story mode. That is why Franklin, we do have the Contract DLC. So Michael, at least for a time being, was still around in 2021 in Los Angeles as a movie producer. Maybe even still in 2025. Now before any of this actually happened, Ned Luke and Sean Fontino, actor for both Michael and Franklin, went on an Instagram live stream before the Contract DLC, remind you of that, talking about some sort of heist DLC that both of them were in. Franklin made it sound that both of them were supposed to be in this DLC. So this probably meaning Sean is working with Rockstar for a contract and Michael is working for his own DLC. It's very interesting because Michael, Ned Luke, he tries to downplay it. He's like, "Oh man, that would be cool, I don't know what's going on." But Franklin, he's an open book. Franklin doesn't really care what he says. He has no filter. He just basically outright confirms that he is working with Rockstar in some kind of DLC for him, which we now know was confirmed. So if he's still telling the truth about Michael, Michael was at least in talks about a DLC with Rockstar and GTA Online. So take a listen to this clip right here. This was live streamed on Ned Luke's official Instagram.
All I know is that they're still doing online content for GTA 5. And me and Ned waiting on our Rockstar. We waiting to do our online, man, our what they call that, Ned? Because you know more about it. What are we waiting to do online? A heist or something or something?
Oh yeah, that would be fun. I would love to be one of the guys who gives out the, who sends you out on the missions. Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be really cool.
I heard that they had something with us coming up to do that, so.
So of the time of this Instagram live stream, they were probably in the early stages, not doing any motion capture, voice lines, probably just the planning stages, writing stages. And after this live stream, the Contract 2021 was released, making it one of the best and most popular GTA Online DLCs of all time, 10 years after the game was released. And that just goes to show how popular it is to have the main characters back in GTA Online. Why wouldn't they go with the Michael DLC next? Especially as a final DLC. Maybe they ended up cutting it or delaying it because they know GTA 6 was around the corner. And at the end of the Contract DLC, Franklin says that there is room for more Contract type missions. That could be relating to just the other short trip missions or another Contract type DLC. And think about how easy it would be to just repaint the Contract DLC with Michael, maybe the movie studio business with Michael, but in the Contract format, which was already perfected. People loved it, still one of the best ways to make money today. Now what's really interesting is with this DLC, there was a NPC right out in front of the Record A Studios across the street, looking at 3 tires right next to a new auto show location. And what's even more interesting is that in the game files, his name that is given by Rockstar is called Movie Set. That is his name in the files. So in GTA Online from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. in-game time, a film crew NPC that's wearing a headset and a Vinewood badge and a film vest is sitting right outside of the Record A Studios. And if you look at his ID up close, his ID says Vinewood, which is of course Hollywood in real life, which is where all the movies are made, which is where Michael also works in GTA 5. And even the major insiders were saying, is this a hint towards a movie DLC with Michael? Still, to this day, no one knows what this is. And after this, even insider Tez too believed that a Michael DLC was in work. Not only believed it, but that's the info he had from inside Rockstar. So this only just goes to show that this was probably either scrapped or delayed, or at least in the early stages of working. So this was back in 2022. Does Tez still believe Michael's DLC is next? That's a question Retro Casualty said on the GTA forums, and Tez replied, "It's not me believing, it's what I have heard in terms of inside info of what Rockstar is planning long term." So he says right there, long term. Plus, Rockstar already gave us a hint with the contract update, which is the hint I just showed you guys. You gotta keep in mind that Rockstar waited a whole year to release a DLC involving Dr. Dre since his cameo appearance in the Cayo Perico heist update, which was at the end of 2020. So yeah, Rockstar did wait a whole year, so the contract update could have been at least a year, maybe even a year and a half of production until its release. So someone actually had a very good reason as to why this NPC might be spawning here randomly. Now with every DLC, we usually get a new business. What would a Michael DLC have as the main business featured? And this one is a pretty obvious choice, the Richard Majestic's Movie Studio, Backlot Movie Studios. In June 2022, Tez 2 released this post, again, right at the time where everyone was thinking we're going to be getting a Michael DLC as a summer or winter DLC. Since Los Santos Summer Special arrived, the free mode creator as an internal tool came into the scene and became a standard tool for all the designers, as it's utilized for pretty much anything free mode related. We should expect the same with the upcoming update, but what will those new free mode events revolve around is unknown. If we are to expect the next DLC to introduce us to Michael, we could potentially own a property at Richard's Majestic's studio, and maybe have Rosella star in movie or something, just like we saw the changes occurring to Franklin's house. Maybe we could see the same apply to Michael's house. So if you guys know, in the contract DLC, Franklin's house had some changes. The inside was changed a little bit, the outside had some Easter eggs to story mode from Franklin and his girlfriend, so the same thing could happen with Michael's house. So be looking in the summer DLC. If it's not a Michael DLC, be looking for some Easter eggs around Michael the movie studio. And that would add up. A movie studio business would add up because there are cut missions from the GTA 5 story mode involving Solomon's movie studio. The first mission is called The Fight for the Film Studio. Michael from GTA 5 is obsessed with old movies, specifically those produced by Solomon Richards. He is given the chance to help Solomon during several missions in the game, which act as a parallel to the Johnny Fontaine storyline from the beginning of the original Godfather, as Michael has to rough up a few people and help Solomon movies get made. There was going to be another mission involving Michael and Solomon Richards' film studio. This was going to be called Save Film Studio, which could mean several things. It's also possible that this was a beta name for the mission called The Ballad of Rocco, where Rocco Pelosi tries to kill Solomon Richards for interfering with his plans. And there's another one involving stealing a jet for the movie studio. In this mission, Michael would have needed to steal a jet from the military base in a mission called Harrier, where Michael would need to steal a jet from the military base and fly it back to his studio. This one probably being the Hydra, since this was a cut story mode mission, probably being the Hydra that they wanted to add, but instead they waited for the heist update into GTA Online. Now on June 7th, 2022, Ned Luke retweeted this article from VG247 titled, "It looks like GTA 5's Michael might be coming to GTA Online," referencing the NPC I just showed you guys, which just goes to show how many people believe this truly was a reference to a Michael DLC coming. Michael reposted this article with a shrug emoji. You guys know how cryptic Ned Luke can be he is known for the cryptic messages, but him just reposting this on his own, it's not even a tweet. He copied the link of this article, posted it to Twitter with a shrug emoji. That's either some massive trolling or a cryptic message that he was working with Rockstar, and that was a real hint towards a Michael DLC. He also replied the same emoji to another post. Fro the Odd Father tweeted, "Now that we have both Franklin and Trevor in the online world, I suppose Michael will return in the GTA Expanded and Enhanced. Any thoughts, Mr. Ned Luke?" And this was, of course, before Expanded and Enhanced release. And he replied with a shrug emoji, the same exact shrug emoji that he tweeted that other article at. But the interesting thing here is that he's responding. He's not just not saying anything at all. He's not saying, no, it's not happening. He's just responding with an emoji, question marks, relate anything to give us no info at all. Just pure speculation. So what Ned Luke is doing is that he's creating hype about it. He's getting people to talk about his tweets, but not only his tweets, his cryptic messages, the possibility of a Michael DLC. Now, one more thing, and this is probably the craziest thing out of this whole video and series of a Michael DLC, is that Ned Luke posted this video in a Cluck and Bell outfit. You guys just have to watch this for yourself. There is no explanation for this. Just watch it.
This was not my idea of a successful retirement. Welcome to Cluck and fucking Bell. Can I take your order?
Well, I was gonna do it first, but you know, Ned tried to out jump the gun. I posted it on my page. Then he gonna rush to it. You know, I'm always the first to do it, man. He copies off of me with his old ass. But I pick C. So you ain't got this. You might got those. But you ain't got these. And now let me go in there and pull out the ass. Clucking motherfucking bell. Clucking bell, let me do it. Clucking bell. Clucking bell.
This out on Twitter essentially asking his fans if he knew what this was. It was a picture of a GTA San Andreas.
What up, y'all?
Ned Luke saying, "I'll show you."
So what I personally believed was that was a tease for Michael DLC. Michael coming out of retirement in a Cluck and Bell outfit. One of the craziest things I've ever seen. Now in April 2024, Michael made some more strange tweets. Obviously this didn't lead up to anything in 2024, but it's 1 year later, 2025. So if they started working on this or reworking on it in middle 2024, this would line up perfectly with the summer DLC or even winter DLC if they did want to wait until the last DLC to release a Michael update. So Noru, who is very active in the community, he made a tweet saying Rockstar Games has just announced that a big update will be coming to GTA Online. Again, this was before summer 2024. It's time for us to receive the long-awaited Michael DLC, and Ned Luke replied, "Wouldn't that be nice? 5 stars." Rockstar Universe, picture this, Michael-related DLC, final mission, he escapes from LSI. Hey, this is kind of just a speculation tweet. Gets on a plane and says he's going to Vice City. Would be a great way to tease him in GTA 6. And Sean Fantino replies, "Maybe a Michael and Franklin one." Smiley face. And then soon after that, he tweets this picture of him in a unique outfit in GTA 5 with the caption, "Shh," with the shush emoji. And then Michael tweets a picture of all 3 of them. Michael, Franklin, Trevor, Ned Luke, Sean Fantino, Steven Ogg. This looks like an OG picture, maybe 2013, 2014. And after that, things go silent for a good while until summer DLC of 2024. In the bottom dollar bounties DLC. We get another Easter egg towards Michael. For one of the bounties with song, inside one of the trailers you could go find a casting sheet, which you have to take a picture of to then find song. You take a picture of these, but one of them has a very interesting title. Goes skiing. This is an obvious reference towards Michael because that was Trevor's nickname for Michael in the GTA 5 storyline. That is what Trevor called Michael all the time, and this one is an obvious reference to Michael, and this is a movie. And you can see it's by Richard's Majestics. That is the logo right there at the top left. I may be looking at this now, maybe we could find a date on it. Do you guys see a date on this? So that's another direct hint towards Michael in GTA Online that we have 2 DLCs. But the next DLC, December 2024, we have another one. So in the Hacker Terminal in the Agents of Sabotage DLC, you could find MDS, which stands for Michael DeSanta, inside of the code for this machine. Kind of random, kind of confusing, but Michael DeSanta is somewhat in this Hacker Terminal code in the 2024 December DLC. Just tiny strings like this in backends of codes is what makes references and people think that it might be still coming soon. Again, it could possibly have been delayed or scrapped to wait until the second to last or the last ever GTA Online DLC to send it off in a massive way. Another Easter egg in the same DLC, in the Agents of Sabotage business garment factory, you could go find Michael's heist outfit, the first ever heist, Bugstars heist, in a little bin with the picture of the factory on it. That is a crazy little detail.
Hey, we got more than enough time to clean these people out. Let's do it.
120 remaining.
Screw these rich pricks.
So they say that, I wonder if the scenario NPC really has to do with the theme of the DLC. Here's why. One, he could be cut event from a previous DLC, and the reason movie set is mentioned is because he is simply an NPC from that specific group page. Two, the spawn location is not indicative of the theme, and he is right opposite of the music studio. What I'm saying is that the only thing connecting him with movies is his vanilla group page movie sets. And Tez2 replies, I initially had the same thought, but he only spawns on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S versions. If the scenario spawn point was added with the contract DLC, I would have agreed otherwise. This wasn't an intentional tease from Rockstar's end, it's a development leftover and more of a placeholder. Development on the next DLC must have overlapped with expanded and enhanced when this was released, pre-release. They typically ensure no assets from the next update makes its way into soon-to-be-released builds, but the focus is mostly on scripts, thus in some cases, like this particular one, a few changes might slip under the radar. So he's saying that this might not have been intentional to be added right now, but it was in the works. They did add it, but it was a part of a future DLC. And the scenario was added with expanded and enhanced since day one, we just found out about recently, meaning the scenario must have been added prior to END release at some point back in February, and that's usually when development on the next update kicks into high gear. And then exactly 1 year later, Ned Luke, April 20th, 2025, someone replies to his post, Ned, please be in GTA Online for one last DLC. And again, Ned Luke says, wouldn't that be nice? 5 stars. So that's just a good place to leave it off. Wouldn't that be nice? Ned Luke still not giving us anything, and even if he does know something, he'll probably not be like Sean Fatano 8. He will just leave us hanging, make us keep guessing. He's not going to tell us a single thing, and this just proves it. But under this reply, Ned Luke says, to be honest, at this point, I'm not sure I would do it even if they were to ask. I'm enjoying playing all the random aligned DLC characters so much, why mess with such a good thing? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Rock Station underneath here can't see it happening now. So again, maybe he's just covering for Rockstar, or maybe he's being honest that even if it was to happen, he probably wouldn't accept it. So maybe it was in the early planning stages at Rockstar, but was cancelled because either they didn't end up going through with it or Ned Luke didn't want to do it. But even though we have tons of hints, tons of Easter eggs, references, game files leading us to believe there is a Michael DLC in the works, nothing ever took off of it, at least that we know of. So we will really have to wait until either summer or the final winter GTA Online DLC to find out will we ever get that Michael DLC. Give us some hints, Easter eggs, or something in summer DLC. You guys know I will be covering it day one when it releases. So if you guys got this far into the video, probably think you liked it, so leave a like and subscribe to see what video I make next.